For this project, I was asked to create a short 60-second resound of a clip that was created and edited by other students in the class. To start off with, I rewatched the video several times and writing down everything that I needed to record using Foley or find sound effects for, and sticking them in a list so that I could refer to later while recording and tick off any that I completed throughout the recording process. This was helpful as it let me keep track of everything that I needed to record after and record next. To start off the recording process, I went outside to my garden as the video was filmed outside and recorded 1.5 minutes worth of background noise or wild track. Now this would be played throughout the whole thing to make sure that there were no silent spots at any point in the video. I then went round and collected a bunch of props for the resound. These included some gardening gloves with rough and soft edges, some rubber gloves, and a bucket of leaves. To start off, I got in the footsteps and grass footsteps. Now this was created by using the rubber gloves for the grass footsteps by swishing them past each other in a light fashion. Now to create the concrete, I screwed them up and pushed them together quite roughly to create a kind of hard sound to represent the concrete. I then went on to create the leaf sound by mixing up all the leaves inside the bucket for about 10-20 seconds just to get that variety of leaf sound. I then grabbed the gardening gloves and put the two rough edges together and scraped them across each other to create the sound of the coat being dragged across the grass. I then grabbed the two fabric sides of the gardening gloves to create the sounds of the coats and clothes rustling throughout the whole 60-second shot, just to create the impact of you being there and you hearing all the coat and clothes rustling. After recording all the sounds that I could personally, I then headed over to freesounds.org and searched for any extra sounds that I couldn't make here, such as the phone ringing and dialing the phone numbers. Viewing my final project, I feel like I've portrayed all the sounds throughout the clip like you would hear them with your own ears if you were there with them, which I feel is really important in a video, as sound is a big part in making the video enjoyable to watch, and it transforms your view of the film as it makes you feel like you're in there with them. You can hear all the sounds. I think my final resound submission was successful, as it used everything that I'd learned in the workshops, including the Foley workshop, making me want to try and complete this resound project using as much Foley as I can and using many different objects that may not be considered making that sound, but I managed to match them up and resound them into something that sounded genuine for the listener to watch and listen to. I also feel like the editing was successful, as I managed to match up the audio and visuals pretty well, which made it hard to distinguish whether the sounds were created using Foley or were actually recorded there. So overall, I think this project went well.